All right, we are here at DreamHack with the one and only Fuslie. Hello.
Hi.
How are you doing?
I'm good. I'm great. I didn't know we were gonna do this, so this is cool.
Yeah. And
I've actually just heard about you a bunch of read your tweets and whatnot, and then they pulled me aside and they're like, Jake Lucky wants to interview you. I was like, I have time. Let's go.
Well, now you'll be on one of those tweets, and we do appreciate your time, so we won't be too long here. But one of the first things I noticed about you is you have a lot of fans and a lot of audience members who are pulling you aside for pictures and video and whatnot.
Yeah.
So how important is building that kind of relationship to you? When you go to events, are you one that frequents those kind of interactions?
Yeah, always. Even we had a little break, and I wanted to run out into the crowd. I don't know, because it just makes me so happy. I can see. Well, when I was younger, I would write letters to a lot of the YouTubers that I would watch, and one time a YouTuber, she wrote back to me, and I held on to that forever. And the excitement that some of the people have for me, it blows my mind. And I'm they're like, this made my whole week or my year. This is the best day. And I'm like, I can just give that feeling to people. Come on.
Yeah,
it feels amazing. Yeah.
Because one of the first people I saw you walk up to, you seem very giddy and very excited. So it's nice to see the reverse side of things.
I have I'm a camouflage emotionally. There's a better word for that. I'm like a social chameleon. There we go. I'm a social chameleon. So when I see anyone really excited or happy, I can't help but feel that too. So it's honestly, it feels selfish of me. When I go out, I feel better when I see people. It makes me feel great.
And this transitions to my next question perfectly, because I wanted to ask you, we live in a world where there's maybe some downsides being a public figure and being a streamer.
Yeah.
So I wanted to ask you the opposite of what is the best side or the best part of being a streamer for you? It might be hard to narrow down, but
there's too many good things. Well, we get to play video games. Obviously, I feel like that's an obvious one. I literally get to play games, wake up when I want to, play games with my friends. And then I have this amazing community. I just look to the left, and they're just encouraging me. They do make me feel like I'm funnier than I am, because I say something that's moderately funny, and they're laughing so hard, but I'm and it makes me think that I'm funny. Waking up when I want, running on my own schedule, and having an amazing group of a streamer community, and a community of incredible fans, and people who watch me regularly and support me for I don't know why. It's awesome. And then I also get to make money, and that's great, and I love that, and I can't ignore it, and I feel so grateful for it. There's too many things. It is great. Yeah.
And for those who don't know how you got your start in the space, I've also wanted to ask this. Was it League of Legends? Was it more the esports side? How exactly did you get started in the content creation and streaming space?
It was League of Legends, and I literally just started streaming to 30 viewers gradually, and I actually just game hopped. I went from League, and I met a lot of creators in the League scene, swapped to CSGO, met creators in the CSGO scene, H1Z1, and I just I lose a bit of my community every time I swap games, but there was a core that was building at the end of the day. And I just kind of went with that. So I've always been, as soon as I switched to Counter-Strike in 2016, it opened up all the FPS games for me. Then I slowly built my core audience. And then, you just asked me how I started. So I'm going to go the whole journey. And then there was Among Us and GTA and the offline TV and Friends group and everything. Yeah, so it was great.
And you've also been around long enough to see a lot of, I wouldn't say necessarily the pitfalls, but a lot of platforms have come and they've gone, and we've seen competitors pop up too. Do you have any thoughts on the recent Twitch versus Kick stuff going on?
Oh, God. I think it's always good. I do think, so I have my own, I'm skeptical about Kick in general. I have nothing against people going to Kick, especially for security, financial reasons. And I do think Kick existing is just great in general. Overall, if there's no one fighting for creators, if it's just Twitch, a monopoly of just everyone's on Twitch, it's going to make less for everybody.
Yeah.
Streaming as a whole is going to be way less stable. So the existence and the rise of new platforms, and I don't know how, my guess is that in 5 years it probably wouldn't be that viable. I don't know. Maybe I'll be proven wrong. Hey, that's good. I don't know. I personally don't know. I'd say existence of it right now and any other platforms that come up right now is just good though overall for the ecosystem. But yeah, hey, prove me wrong. That'd be sick. I've been watching a couple streams on Kick because a couple of my friends are there. But it just seems hard. If Microsoft failed with Mixer, I'm how is it gonna?
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm curious. So I don't know too much, but that's my
I think that's fair. I think a ton of people are curious right now. Only two more questions for you.
Yeah.
And I think you briefly mentioned it before as well, playing game to game. You're a variety streamer, right?
Yeah.
A little bit of RP here as well.
Yeah.
Bring music into the fold too.
Yeah. Oh.
And so I wanted to not necessarily dive too much into the music thing, but I wanted to ask you, how has music been going for you, experimenting with that? With your audience, and then also what would be next for you that people might expect or not expect?
Yeah, music has been like in the back of my mind since I was in choir when I was little, but I was never like, I never was like, oh, I'm like really low confidence when it comes to singing and music, and I just like don't like performing. My dream is not to be on a stage. Like I do not want to live that tour life. I do not want to like go full-time music. That is nothing. It's just been a hobby. So GTA was the first time I could release music that I would never release, and it let me like test the waters, and that was so cool because like I just released it under like April, and that's like April Fuslie, my like GTA character, and I can try and throw things out and like just do whatever, collab with anyone who asks me, random producers and whatever, and put anything out, and then it gave me the confidence to just put more stuff out even under my name, and it's been very well received, like way more than I ever thought. I'm still too shy to ever promote my own music, so if you ever see music come out, I'll like never tweet about it. I'll never post it. It's only like on my YouTube channel, and I never look at comments. I never look at anything because I'm sensitive. I'm a sensitive soul when it comes to music. I'm just like nervous about it. But to know that like people come up to me and they're like, dude, I love your song. Like I like actually like have it on repeat. I'm like, are you lying? Like that blows my mind. So I hope to like keep doing it for fun. It's actually my little passion project in general, music.
Yeah, and that's awesome to see streamers who can branch out from the norm of what they first were doing when they had their blow up, right?
Yeah.
And their growth in the space. One thing to leave you on, and again, thank you so much for doing this for us. What is one moment that you have had in streaming that you will never forget?
Streamer Camp is it's an event. I haven't done it in a long time, and I don't know what the future of it is, but it's an event that I hosted with BoxBox, and we invited like 6 streamers out, and I think capturing like, basically we did a bunch of content with these 6 streamers, and when it ended, we had like this moment at the end, like we stayed up really late and we just talked and we like cried, and we like, it was like the first time I was like, wait, I can create this opportunity for other people. And this part wasn't even broadcasted. This was just a sit down moment where we all like reflected on like streaming, how to like growth, like whole, like just in general, like, and it felt like we were just like really like humans talking to each other. And I think that was one of like the best moments I've had, and I want to recreate that and just create moments like that in the future. But I've had a lot of moments. Like I have moments just flying by in my head. All the Twitch cons, meet and greets. I had like, oh God, too many things are flying in my head. There's a lot, okay, but it's weird. All my stuff exists on the internet, and I can just go back in time. Among Us, there's so many Among Us moments that I had. But I think like just good feels in general, the Streamer Camp like event as a whole was probably my favorite like thing I've ever done.
A documentary